Alrighty, welcome to day 3 of our club. If you are watching the replay, let me know in the chat if you're watching live. Also, feel free to send out this link. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Glad you are with us here today for day 3 of our book club. We've been running this now. This is the second month. So if you're watching this thing live, welcome. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Excited to go through a couple of chapters of Change Your Thoughts by Dr. Wayne Dyer. We'll give everybody a few minutes, and then we'll kick this thing off.
Hourly Amazon.
I hate ads so much. But welcome, everybody. This is our day 3 of November's book. We are live 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. If you're watching live, let me know as well. Starting here in about 2 minutes. Welcome. That's very calm music. We kick this thing off. And here, excited that you're here. Amazing. Well, hey, good to see y'all. My name is Mike Sotero. If you're new to the book club, this is something that we do once per month. And last month in October, we did Outwitting the Devil. This month, we are doing this book right here called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And you can come to mikesotero.com/book club. I will put the link in the chat, and you can register, and we'll email you whenever our next book club is, the book, and all those different things. This will be the last book club that we do moving forward on YouTube. So all of the recordings are here in a playlist, so feel free to go through it. Now, in this book club, we are actually going to use the whiteboard, and we're going to take some notes here. And then we're just going to read probably 1, maybe 2 chapters here together over the next couple of minutes. Let's just title this Day 3 of Book Club. You guys should be able to see the notes. Change your thoughts, change your life. Now, we've had a couple challenges the past couple of days. The first day, throwing away, right? Removing 5 things from your life that are just taking up space. Yesterday, we had the challenge of writing down, 5 things that we're grateful for, right? Sounds stupid, right? Sounds motivational. But guess what? That's how you attract things that you want if you haven't realized that. It's what successful people do. And successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. So let's get into it. So here's what we're going to do is we're just going to open up to a random page, and then we're going to read that chapter here together. Boom. There we go. Got it. If you have the book, page 94, Living Without Striving. Living Without Striving. Maria says, got rid of 5 things. Congratulations to everybody who did that. If you were here and you didn't do it, you just hurt yourself. You don't hurt me. You just hurt yourself. So let's get into it. Okay, it says, give up learning and you will be free from all your cares. What is the difference between yes and no? What is the difference between good and evil? Must I fear what others fear? Should I fear desolation when there is abundance? Should I fear darkness when that light is shining everywhere? In spring, some go to the park and climb the terrace, but I alone am drifting, not knowing where I am. Like a newborn babe before it learns to smile, I am alone without a place to go. Most people have too much. I alone seem to be missing something. Mine is indeed the mind of an ignoramus in its unadulterated simplicity. I am but a guest in this world. I think everybody can agree. We're all guests here. You're born by yourself, you die by yourself, right? Can't take what you have to the next life. I am but a guest in this world. While others rush to get things done, I accept what is offered. I alone seem foolish, earning little, spending less. Other people strive for fame. I avoid the limelight. That's so good. Preferring to be left alone. Indeed, I seem like an idiot. No mind, no worries. Page 94. I drift like a wave on the ocean. I blow as aimless as the wind. All men settle down in their grooves. I am stubborn and remain outside. Last sentence here. But wherein I am most different from others is knowing to take sustenance from the great mother. So in this chapter, in that first page, in this like verse, in this part of the paragraph, I took away a couple things. One was it says most people have too much. Now, what do most people try to go after their whole life? Starts with a T. Most people just want things. If I can just get more things, then I'll be happy. The challenge that we did the first day where you have to like throw away 5 things, guess what? You getting rid of something that you've held on to, it basically tells God, it tells the world, it tells the universe, tells, the frequency, I accept new. I want new. I'm ready for new. Right? How many of y'all want some new blessings, some new levels of income, some a new level of net worth, some new people, right? Some good people to show up in your life. I always pray this, that God removes the people talking behind my back, removes those people from my life, and he brings the right people in. And I'm a believer that you do have people come into your life for specific reasons. And most times the reasons does not make sense. They do not make sense in that season. But then later on, it goes on to make sense. So let's dive into this chapter. Okay, we're reading Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Dr. Wayne Dyer. If you're watching the replay, I love that you're here. If you're watching this live, I love that you're here. Glad you're here. Okay, so it says living without striving. Okay. He says in the Tao Te Ching, you're encouraged to experience your life freely of worldly striving. Lao Tzu advises you to slow down your incessant demands for more and to relax your efforts to fill up every moment in anticipation of being somewhere else. You're invited to experience life in a way that can be summarized in the title of Ram Dass's book, Be Here Now. Okay, page 95. Now, here's what he says. He says, be here in your mind as well in your body, in a state of appreciation and an absence of longing. Let go of wondering about doing the right thing. Release the what ifs and all of your goals for the future. Release the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? That's good. And replacing them with the power of this instant. Be here and remember to do it now. For thinking about being someplace else uses up your precious present moment. There's a great book, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, teaching yourself and programming yourself. Like, we get anxiety sometimes thinking too much about the future, we get or the past, and then we get anxious about thinking about the future. I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to email you guys the notes from all the days. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see. I think I need to push this higher. I do. Zoom is like so weird these days. They always do these updates. Okay. And he says, being here is accomplished by adopting an acceptance of life as it is presented by God. It is a surrendering process. If you will simply allow this great, all creating, all nourishing source, aka God, to take you where it will be. You give up the idea of having to get more. So I want to put that here in the notes. You do not have to get more, right? You don't have to get more. You can desire it, you can strive for it, but this chapter is called Living Without Striving. So let's continue. He says this surrendering process allows you to bear witness to the unlimited abundance and eternal light that is always present to you. You restrain yourself to give up your beliefs about lacks and shortages. You instead trust in the great source to provide what you need. Right? Put a 2 in the chat if you're trusting God to provide what you need. In the Bible, it says that God will even take care of like the birds and the bees. It says, I forgot what book, but if God takes care of the animals, right, in the animal kingdom and makes sure that they have something to eat, why would he not take care of you? Why would he not figure out a path for you? Just a thought. Okay, page 97, he says, Dr. Wayne Dyer says, practice letting go of thoughts about what's not here now. Wow. Let me move the chat here. Okay, you guys can see the chat there? Okay, it says, practice letting go of thoughts about what's not here now. Powerful. He says, take time to let go and let God every single day. To say the words over and over to yourself until you can actually tell what the difference feels like. Letting go is a distinct physical and psychological experience, much different from striving. Let go of your demands. Ooh. And I know some of y'all got a lot of demands. I demand this and I demand that. I demand this person does this for me. And I demand I make more money. And dangerous. Along with your beliefs that you can't be happy because of what is supposedly missing in your life. I think that's speaking to me. Nothing is missing in my life, and just like nothing is missing in your life. The fact that you're okay without what you think you need is the change you want to see. Then you can note that you already have everything you need to be peaceful, happy, and content right here and right now. He says, relax into this knowing, right? Knowing is a powerful thing. Like knowing that it's not going to rain today. You can go to the beach. Knowing that the car is going to drive. You have to drive it unless you have a Tesla. The car is going to get you to your destination, right? Knowing is a powerful thing. Knowing that this chair is going to hold me up. Knowing is a powerful thing at a conscious and a unconscious level. Relax into this knowing and affirm again and again, I am letting go. I am letting God. I am glorious. I am a glorious infant, nursing at the great all-providing. Powerful. How does that fit into thinking? And you guys can ask questions as well in the chat. How does that fit into thinking of how you see yourself in the future? I've studied and, from like Mr. Bob Proctor was a personal mentor, and, how you see yourself in the future is like a reflection. And sometimes I'm going to give you both perspectives here. Sometimes how you see yourself in the future, if it doesn't match up in your current reality, so like you look in the mirror and you're like, wow, I think I should be here. I think I should be doing all these things. It could be a weapon against you. It could lead to depression. Right? I heard this quote that says, maybe Dr. Wayne Dyer said it. He says, when your current reality doesn't match like the way you think about your like anxiety and stress and dis-ease. You look at the word dis-ease, like what is that? It's dis and ease. It's 2 words, right? Disease is caused by dis-ease. So not being, happy, not being fulfilled, not eating the right foods, not being at ease with something that you should be at ease with can lead to disease. They have studies that show that based on how somebody is, if they're negative or if they're positive, right? If they have a positive, opportunistic outlook in life versus a negative outlook on life, a non-opportunistic outlook on life, which one is more likely to get disease? Which one do you think? Which one is more likely to get sick? Which one is more likely to get cancer? Which one is more likely to, to die at an earlier age? It's a powerful thing. Okay. Now, that was one chapter. Okay. That was on page 95. It was called Living Without Striving. Give me one of your guys' takeaways in the chat from that chapter. Mine is simple. Don't worry about getting too much. Okay. Don't worry too much about getting too much. Don't worry about tomorrow when you only have today. Right. Don't worry about what's going to happen next week or next month. And sometimes when you're like a really good planner, you are only focused on the future and then you lose sight of today. You lose sight of the present. And I do that stuff all the time, all the time. You got to have something to look forward to, is what Dr. Wayne Dyer here is saying. But you got to live in that moment and you can't strive to change things so fast. Okay. Let's do one more chapter here, guys, and then we're going to wrap up. What we're doing is we're just literally going to a random page in the book and we're stopping. Okay. Boom. Right there. Page 100 if you have the book. So being aligned with the current self and how you see yourself in the future. Exactly. Are you progressing, right? Are you in alignment? Are you on track to how you see yourself in the future? I think that's powerful. I think people underestimate, I'm gonna type it one hand here, underestimate the power of progress. Sometimes people will progress in their weight loss journey, or they'll progress in their business or their income or their net worth, and then they'll say, oh my God, I'm not where I want to be. But dude, you were just freaking broke. Now you're not broke. Now you have a house. Now you have a car. Now you have a family. Look at where you were. And a lot of people, they don't look at where they used to be as motivation. They look at where they used to be as a crutch. They look at where they used to be, good or bad. They look at where they used to be as like, just not in a good light. I think no matter where you used to be, good or bad, can you use it as a level of motivation? What do you think? If you were struggling financially before and you're not today, let's say, maybe now you're financially independent or financially free. The house was just a joke on Instagram. It's funny. If where you used to be is all you think about, then guess what? Now where you used to be is what you currently are. You're actually in a worse place, good or bad. And that's why you see a lot of what we call one-hit wonders in music, one-hit wonders in business, is they have a little success. And that's the most dangerous thing. I heard a mentor of mine say the most dangerous thing is make $100,000 to $200,000 in a year, one time, lose it, and most people can't get back to that number. Okay. So let's dive into one more chapter, and then we're going to wrap this up. We're reading Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life here by Wayne Dyer. Okay, it says, page 100, the greatest virtue is to follow the Tao, which is really God, okay, and God alone. Although formless and intangible, it gives rise to form. Throughout the ages, its name has been preserved in order to recall the beginnings of all things. How do I know the ways of all things at the beginning? I look inside myself and see what is within me. Okay, this chapter is called Living the Elusive Paradox. This is going to be interesting. This is an interesting sentence here. It says, quantum physics teaches that all particles emerge from an invisible and formless energy field. So all creation, including your own, this is good news for y'all and me, including your own, is a function of motion from formless energy to form, from spirit to body, from the nameless to a named object. At one point, you were nameless. Do you understand that? What Wayne Dyer here is saying is that at one point, you didn't exist. You were nothing. You weren't even thought of. And then God created you, gave you a name, gave you a purpose. Isn't that's great news. It's great news. Glad you guys were here in this book club. You go to mikesotero.com and you can register for the book club email notifications when we do the next one. The next book club will not be on YouTube. It's just way too complicated on YouTube and people are not seeing the notifications and stuff. So we're going to do the next one somewhere else. I'll let you guys know via email. All right, so let's continue. This is really good. So it says, so all creation, including your own, is a function of motion from formless to form, from unnamed to name. The process of creation, along with the theme of understanding eternal nameless, runs throughout the Tao Te Ching. This is the elusive paradox that you're invited to contemplate, allow, and experience. You can know it by examining your own nature and recognizing that the same principle that creates everything is animating your every thought and action. Powerful. It says, right now, make a simple decision to move your index finger. Wiggle your toes. Next, lift your arm. Finally, ask yourself, what is it that allows me to make these movements? In other words, what is it that allows you to see shapes and colors? What force behind your eyes invisibly signals you to process the sky as blue or tree as tall? What is the formless energy that tweaks a vibration somewhere in your ear to give it a sound? What it all is formless and nameless. It's vague. Yes, it is obscure. And when you begin to see the world in this manner, you begin knowing that the aspect of yourself, this is what Lao Tzu describes, the breath of the life breath of all things. And it needn't remain a mystery. You have the same eternal inside of you, and you apply it a million times a day. It's within you. It is you. The greatest virtues is to find the nameless, formless force within yourself. Know it by looking within and seeing it work in all of your thoughts and actions. Dr. Wayne Dyer here says, have an unquenchable thirst for the intangible and enigmatic force that supports all life. He says, last part, and then we're going to wrap this up for day 2. Guys, day 1 and day 2 are recorded. This is day 3. We're going to wrap up day 3 after this paragraph. He says, communicate with the source regularly. So communicate with God regularly. Ask for its guidance and meditate on its sacredness. The more you practice benevolent, I don't know what that means, benevolent reverence for the invisible, the more you'll feel connected to it. The presence of a known connection with God will release you from worry, stress, release, and anxiety that are ego's way of looking at the world. While others around you may stay focused on their pursuit of wealth, fame, and power, you'll notice it and smile compassionately as you practice being in a state of appreciation for the breadth of all things. Let's put that in the notes here. That's so good. As we watch people chase power, fame, money, stay in appreciation. What does that mean? So good. While everybody's chasing and chasing and chasing, right? Just trying to accumulate more, you're just appreciating life. You're just appreciating where you're at today. You're appreciating the opportunity you have today to go do something for yourself and for your family. It says you'll feel safe and secure knowing that you're in a divine partnership with the all-knowing God. I suggest that you simply take a moment to do or two or several times a day to say thank you, God, for everything. Does anybody else do that? Anybody, let me know in the chat. Just like, I was just literally in my backyard. The sun was going down. I literally have been on calls for 6 hours straight here today. Took a couple minutes, went outside, just said thank you, God. Right? Anybody else just do that? I think it's powerful. I think the words thank you are so key, you know? It's like if you open the door for somebody, like let's say you're at the gym and you're opening the door or whatever, or you're at the grocery store. Like if somebody says thank you, it feels good. If they don't say thank you, it still feels good because you did the right thing. I've also seen videos on YouTube where people are like, "Oh, you didn't say thank you to me. I opened the door for you." That's ego. That's ego. Open the door for that person regardless. Open the door for your passenger regardless. Give to the homeless, because if it's a calling on your heart to give to the homeless and you have the money, give to the homeless. If it's not a calling, or you don't, then don't. But do you trust your intuition in that example? Do you trust God enough to say, "Hey, thank you for the storm that I'm in or the harvest that I'm in"? It doesn't matter. Okay, last like little couple sentences here. It says, memorize the final two lines of this verse. That he says, so here's what it says. It says, repeat these two sentences. How do I know the ways of all things at the beginning? I look inside myself and see what is within me. Doing so will remind you that the Tao comes from the truth that's inside of you at all times. Give up trying to persuade anyone of the correctness of your vision. Oh my God, that is good. That is so good. Let's put that here. Give up. And this literally happened to me when I was in the sauna today. Give up trying to persuade anyone else of the correctness, oh my God, of your vision. Okay. You know what that means? It means that not everybody's going to understand what you do, why you do it, how you do it, the purpose of what you're doing. Push that up so you guys can see it. And today I was in the sauna at the gym, pretty crazy. And these guys start talking about politics. God bless them. And then it started to get a little spicy in there, right? Not the sauna wasn't just getting hot. Like people were pulling out different electoral maps, and people were like talking about how, they were going into the details, right, of the election, which at this point does not matter anymore. And I'm glad it's behind us. And no matter where you are, you should be able to be at peace with whatever happens and whatever has happened. But guess what? There was one guy in there, two guys that were tag teaming this other guy, trying to say, "Hey, your vision's wrong. You voted for this person, and that's wrong. Look at what this person has done, and look at how stupid." And that's just, you know what I did? I don't try to persuade anyone. Their vision is their vision, especially in politics. Hey, you think that? Great. Congrats. Here's what he says. He says, if you think that the truth can be known from words, if you think that the sun and the ocean can pass through that tiny opening called the mouth, oh, someone should start laughing. Someone should start wildly laughing now. Powerful. Powerful. So a couple really good points here today as we wrap up day 3. I hope this book club has been helpful. We will not be doing this on YouTube, but we will be on YouTube tomorrow for day number 4, 6 p.m. Eastern. I encourage you to come in. All I ask is if you can hit that like button down below. It lets people on YouTube know that we are live. And if you haven't subscribed, would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, definitely some really good notes here. Not trying to persuade people. I think that's a massive one here. Your vision is your vision. People underestimating the power of progress and being really aware, right? Be really aware of what you're doing today. What are you doing today? What are you focused on today? Your health, your spirituality, your fitness, your business, like whatever the priorities are in your life, like, are you progressing? And the truth is that nobody stays the same. Your business is either going up or it's going down. It's an illusion if you think it's remaining the same. Your health is not going up or going down or staying the same. It's going into the correct or to the wrong direction. And if you don't like the direction that it's going in, here's the good news. You can change it. You can remain present of where you're at today. Tomorrow, day 4, don't miss this. You can remain present where you're at today and say, "Oh, you know what? The direction I'm going in is going to change." And you don't just, get in the boat and then get to your destination. You get in the boat and you set sail. You get in the boat and you say, okay, we have to just start paddling, or we have to start rowing, or we have to turn the engine on. And if we do that long enough, you get to your destination. Okay. And then when you get there, you're like, wow, this is great. The enemy would play this trick on you saying, okay, now that you're at this destination, now that you're at this place, you know what? Just chill. Just stay here forever. And then when you get to a destination you've never been to, you know what it should do? You know what it does to me when I go to new places, new environments, new countries? I've been to 41 different countries, is it expands. It expands my mind. It expands who I am. It expands everything. Gives me, I'm most creative. I've written all of my ebooks and all of the stuff that I've created online. I've done all that pretty much while I was on an airplane or a cruise ship or in a different city or in a hotel. See, some people travel just to travel. I travel with intention, getting out of your comfort zone intentionally. See you guys tomorrow for day 3.